Hi, I'm Mathew Nilsson from Ford Performance Racing. I'm the engineering manager here. Welcome to Norton 360 Engineered for Speed Technical Section. Today we're going to have a look at our machine shop facility. So let's go have a look. As you can see, quite a noisy environment here in the machine shop. We have 3 full-time staff, machine shop manager and 2 machinists working alongside him to produce as many parts as we can in-house. We make about 90% of the car in the machine shop in terms of those type of components, so we try and keep it in-house, obviously, to maintain the quality. We have three machines. If we go inside and have a bit of a look, 3 predominant machines that we use to make all our parts. We have a 2-axis lathe with a bar feeder, so you can see the bit of equipment at the end there. It feeds the material through as required. We have a 3-axis mill over there, which Derek, the machine shop manager, is operating at the moment, and a 5-axis machine. So we've got quite a good selection of machines that we're able to make that 90% component of the car in-house. We also have a few other pieces of equipment to go alongside it. So for grinding components, just some manual lathes, I guess, for just your basic work that is not as in depth. Obviously the rest of the staff within the facility are able to come in and machine as required, but most of the parts come through these 3 guys via our production manager. You saw in earlier episodes that the CAD side of things upstairs, so this is probably the biggest integration that occurs, in that the CAD models are able to be used down here in the machine shop to actually make the component. So they use a computer-aided machining software to adapt the CAD model into the format that needs to be used with the machines. Again, we try and lay the facility out to make it as easy and efficient for the guys to use. So a central bench there that each of the operators can easily turn around, grab new material, put a part that they've just made onto the bench, and from this part here they'll go back to production for inspection, and any post processing that might need to be done to the component, such as heat treating, any anodizing or coating to protect the surface for how it's used in the car. If we go and have a look over here at some of the components, how they start out versus how they actually finish up, you can see here that we have an upright. We machine them out of aluminium here at FPR with a steel insert for the wheel bearing and that kind of component. But on the left here we have the piece of billet, so this is how the upright actually starts, and through all the processes here in the machine shop we end up with this end result. Obviously try and lighten the component as much as we can without losing any of the strength, so that's the role of the engineers upstairs, to make sure that one, the component's not too light and it's going to fail. In this case there's actually a minimum weight for the upright under the series regulation, so we perform some pocketing and lightweight work on the component, so that we're able to sort of minimise being over the minimum to make sure we are competitive in that area. On the right here we also have another example of a rear brake hat. So again, it starts as a billet piece of aluminium to the right specification as designated by the engineers. Machine the component down, and this one here you can see has been hard anodised. It's quite an older one that we've got in stock, but it basically gets hard anodised to try and protect some of the major surfaces that might wear, just to try and prolong the life of the component. So as I said, quite a busy department, quite noisy. Try and make as much of the components in-house to maintain our quality control, and out of that we go back to production where the components will be inspected to make sure they meet the drawing as specified by the engineer. So probably a smaller but quite efficient department here at FPR.